Hey everyone, Aaron here with Elite Water Sports, and today's video is something against everything you've ever learned about kiteboarding. It is 12 o'clock is for beginners. Stay tuned and I'll tell you why. Hey everyone, Aaron here with Elite Water Sports, and this video is all about breaking some bad habits that instructors and also students have created over the years, right? And we're talking about bringing your kite to 12 and leaving it there. We no longer want to do that, and I'm going to tell you why. First thing is safety, right? On the beach, super unsafe to have the kite at 12. Putting the board on makes it super difficult. Water starts, even more difficult, and stopping, man, you lose a lot of ground. So stay tuned. I'm going to get in some detail on each one of these items just to prove what I mean by don't go to 12. 12 is for beginners. Reason number one for you to break the habit of going to 12 o'clock with your kite, it's going to be up on the beach. Up on the beach is probably the worst case scenario if you lose control of your kite, right? And if your kite is at 12 o'clock straight above your head, it is more susceptible to rotoring winds to come along and push down on that leading edge or the backside of your canopy, causing what we call a Hindenburg. That's where that kite plummets straight down to the ground, slack lines. Nobody likes that, right? And then all of a sudden the kite's all tumbling around. Well, why not change that by having at 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock ideally, but anywhere but 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is no-go zone. Another reason why is that when you start kiting and launching your kite up all the way up to 12 o'clock, guess what? Maybe you're unfamiliar with the conditions and the wind speeds and whatnot, right? And what happens if that wind is actually stronger than you expected? Or maybe a gust comes by. If your kite is at 12 o'clock, maybe it doesn't Hindenburg, but maybe it starts lifting you off your toes, and now you don't have any weight, you don't have any firm grip on the ground, and you're just basically going to be out of control, right? What happens if you start ejecting your kite and you try to get rid of this thing, right? Well, now the kite is 100 feet in the sky, right? If you have your kite down low and eject, the kite's just gonna simply come down to the ground. Or if it's at 11, 10, or 9, right out in front of you, if you just let go of your bar, the kite's just gonna come right back down to the ground. So break that habit of 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, no-go zone, especially on the beach. Reason number two to break that habit of putting your kite at 12 o'clock is putting a board on. Reason being is, sure, it might be easier to put that board on at 12 o'clock, but what happens right away? Immediately after you get that board on, you'll start spinning. And you can relate to me now that I've told you, right? So that kite's at 12 o'clock, now you have no tension, no pull out of the kite, kite's going left and right, you just don't have as much control and you'll start spinning. Or you never got the board on at all because you have no pressure against your feet. So why not take it to 11 or 1, which is ideal, not lower, not higher, but 11 or 1 o'clock. And now what happens is that kite pulls you in the direction of your board. So when you go to put it up there, remember, with the kite off of 12 o'clock, now it's easier to have a one-handed operation, one-handed control on the kite, because the kite's always going to want to go down towards the water, and you have that one hand to keep it flying the entire time. After you start learning a little bit deeper into why not to go to 12 o'clock, you'll start realizing that the kite pulling you in the direction will make everything more stable, more controlled, as long as you're not cheating in. Reason number three why you should break that habit of going to 12 o'clock and keeping that kite there. Well, if you're having trouble with water starts and having success on every time you send that kite to get up on your board and start to ride, well, guarantee you it's because you've had your kite at 12 way too long. 12 o'clock is for beginners. And the reason why is because if you have the kite at 11 or 1 o'clock, it causes what we call constant pressure. Constant pressure is the key to success. If you can consistently maintain pressure on your board, you are now maintaining control of the board, you're maintaining control of the kite, everything is better. Set yourself up for success. And what I mean by that is that after that kite has been pulling you along in the water very slowly but consistently, that board is going to line up perfectly in front of you, right? And those lines going and extending off to your kite should be perfectly placed in between your knees, right? Perfectly in between your knees. And now you don't need to know where the wind's coming from, which direction you need to travel, or anything like that. You don't have to put any thought into it, because as soon as you feel and see those lines in between your knees, you know you are set up for success. After you have hit that baseline of having control, then you can bring your kite up to 12, past 12, and then send it down for your ride, okay? When you do this, you're gonna have ample amount of power. You'll have more power than what you are currently taught, or possibly have created as a habit, where your kite is just at 12 the whole time, and then maybe you go to the right and then send it, okay? What happens here is that you have this pull that is out of control, your board's downwind, you've spun a little bit. You definitely don't want to continuously do that same habit. This is what holds back more people on the water than any other aspect of learning kiteboarding. So learn how to have that constant pressure by having the kite strictly at 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock, nowhere else when you're getting started. Here we are on that final reason why to break that bad habit of bringing your kite up to 12 o'clock, and we're going to be talking about stopping. How do you stop on a kiteboard? Well, most instructors have taught that going up to 12 o'clock is the way to stop riding. And I gotta tell you, this actually opens up a slew of problems and habits that actually hold you back from the next levels of kiteboarding, like transitions or riding upwind. And here's my reasons why. As you start riding, obviously you're not going to be going upwind, and your angles may be actually even more aggressive downwind, okay? Inspiring rides are key to success, getting you stoked that you can kiteboard, that's fantastic. But I'm here to say that by teaching you to go up to 12 o'clock is wrong. As you go up to 12 o'clock, you'll actually fall downwind and lose your ground, okay? And reasons being, there's a bunch of them. One, the most important, is as you bring your kite up to 12 o'clock, it's creating a habit of pulling the bar. So if you're coming from wakeboarding, you're already susceptible to pulling the bar. If you're coming from windsurfing, you're already pulling on the bar. Habits that we have to break as instructors. Teaching to go up to 12 o'clock, pull on the bar, go left, bring it up. So bad, right? Next thing is, as that kite goes up, you're also relieving the actual weight that you have in your board. So therefore now you're lighter going across the water, therefore having less effective rail in the water, less edge. When you lose your edge, you're gonna fall downwind. The next thing is actually when your kite goes up to 12 o'clock, what's it doing? Was it's standing you in an upright position, right? As you stand up in your upright position, less weight on your feet, you're also gonna fall downwind, right? Everything bringing your kite up to 12 o'clock is pretty much not gonna help you learn how to ride upwind, okay? The next thing is that as you learn to do transitions, the kite is never going to have power. So therefore, now you have to break that habit of bringing your kite up to 12 o'clock. You shouldn't be doing that. Here's the reasons why you should leave your kite at 2 o'clock, the riding height, in order to be more successful and progress faster in kiteboarding. As you're riding along, whether or not you're going downwind or not, as you're riding along, if you sheet out and spill the power, you will naturally hook into the breeze every single time, right? And then when you start sheeting out like that, that's creating a habit of not pulling the bar. If I'm teaching you to push out that bar to stop and not go to 12 o'clock, what's that doing? It's teaching you to push out, not pull left or pull that kite up to 12 o'clock, right? And as you get better with this, you'll actually start going with these huge hooks into the breeze to stop. And then you'll start again, you'll lose a little bit of ground, you'll sheet out, keeping that kite at your riding height, 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and your ride angles or your tracks will start looking like this. If they don't, then you need to start shortening your rides a little bit. But that's on a different video. We just want to send it home that you do not want to bring your kite to 12 o'clock or create that habit unless you want to take more and more rides upwind on that jet ski or walks up the beach. Leave your comments in the comment section and I'll personally respond on it. And if you have any scenarios out there that possibly are going against that, let's educate the community. Let's get together and have a really great conversation. But I guarantee you, if you do this trick, you'll be riding upwind in no time. So this is Aaron with Elite Water Sports, and this video is all about the reasons why 12 o'clock is for beginners. Beginners that just started to learn how to fly a kite. Not riding, not launching their kite from the beach, not putting their board on. We're talking 12 o'clock is just for beginners. Let's get out of that habit, guys. This is Aaron with Elite Water Sports, and I'll catch you on the water.